love you. It was either Demi Falastini or Welcome to Detroit. We'll end with Welcome to Detroit, but thank you all so much. Y'all, welcome. Welcome to the most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit. I don't know if I need to remind you all, but Detroit, we birth movements, not just labor movements. We birth movements on environmental justice, on women's rights, and so much more. So welcome, gain strength from this amazing, beautiful black city that raised me. You will always, every single one of you fighting for the liberation of Palestine will always be welcome in my city. Detroit's known this for a long time, what the Palestinian people have been saying for a long, long time. The Nakba never ended. 1.7 Palestinians, nearly 3/4 of Gaza's population have been displaced. I don't even like saying it like that. Forcibly removed. They are using the weapon of starvation. They are literally allowing children to starve to death with our money. We know the atrocities being committed by the apartheid government of Israel are horrific and well documented. You know, I didn't have to wait for the Guardian investigation to tell us what they found, which is that Israeli snipers have been deliberately targeting children. Doctor after doctor has come to my office showing me images of 6, 7, 8-year-old children with bullet holes in their skulls. Many of them showing me images of literally white phosphorus burning the flesh of their children's skin off. Things they have never seen in their entire I love you. It was either Demi Falastini or Welcome to Detroit. We'll end with Welcome to Detroit, but thank you all so much. Y'all, welcome. Welcome to the most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit. I don't know if I need to remind you all, but Detroit, we birth movements, not just labor movements. We birth movements on environmental justice, on women's rights, and so much more. So welcome, gain strength from this amazing, beautiful black city that raised me. You will always, every single one of you fighting for the liberation of Palestine will always be welcome in my city. Detroit's known this for a long time, what the Palestinian people have been saying for a long, long time. The Nakba never ended. 1.7 Palestinians, nearly 3/4 of Gaza's population have been displaced. I don't even like saying it like that. Forcibly removed. They are using the weapon of starvation. They are literally allowing children to starve to death with our money. We know the atrocities being committed by the apartheid government of Israel are horrific and well documented. You know, I didn't have to wait for the Guardian investigation to tell us what they found, which is that Israeli snipers have been deliberately targeting children. Doctor after doctor has come to my office showing me images of 6, 7, 8-year-old children with bullet holes in their skulls. Many of them showing me images of literally white phosphorus burning the flesh of their children's skin off. things they have never seen in their entire medical lives. They told me, we've done medical missions all over the world. This is something they had never, ever seen before. We all know and feel it. And I know I feel so much guilt. I think we all do. Their lives and the futures have been stolen. Many of them clinging to each other as they are being bombed in their beds, buried under rubble, still holding on to each other. All across Gaza, the medical system has been deliberately destroyed. That's a war crime. Well over 100 journalists have been murdered for reporting on the apartheid government, Israel's government's crimes against humanity. Again, targeting journalists, war crimes. In the past few weeks, myself and so many people on my team, we've been watching the multiple mass graves being uncovered, several locations where the Israeli government forces have been withdrawing from. Over 390 bodies have been discovered at Al-Nasser, Al-Shifa hospitals, including women and children, showing signs of torture, execution, and being buried alive. Just imagine. War crimes. President Biden, I hope you hear us loud and clear. Attacking the authority of the International Criminal Court and interfering in the legal process is nothing more than an attempt to prevent the genocidal maniac Netanyahu and his senior Israeli officials from being held accountable for those crimes against humanity. You are an enabler, President Biden. The International Court of Justice just ruled that the Israeli government must stop its invasion of Rafah. But President Biden says what's happening in Gaza is not a genocide. Where's your red line, President Biden? This is not even consistent with his own views on international law in the past, where he sit there and called and said Putin must be held accountable at the ICC. But he shields the murderous war criminal Netanyahu and the Israeli government official. They are asking us not to believe our own eyes. Each year, our country, and I say our country because it is our country, sends billions of dollars to maintain an apartheid government and support the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. You all, every single bullet, every single gun, every single weapon, bombs that we send is a sacrifice of our own schools here at home. Many of which, when I go into the schools, have garbage bags over their drinking fountains because they don't have clean water. Every single bomb and bullet and weapons we send to genocide is less money to house the unhoused. When many of the veterans we send to support endless wars based on lies come back literally needing health care and nowhere to go, but we'll send weapons like this for genocide. When I tell my colleagues we gotta fight for clean air and clean water, who's gonna pay for it? How about we stop supporting genocide and supporting endless wars? I know you all have heard me. Many of my colleagues come whispering to me, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you said that. Why are you whispering? Well, Rashida, you know, I don't support Netanyahu. Well, you just send him $14 billion. No conditions, nothing. When I watch my colleagues, one by one, voting yes to send $14 billion to the apartheid regime, those committing genocide, all I kept thinking about is that us, the United States, is the primary investor and funder of genocide. We're literally co-conspirators. It's shameful. It's shameful when I come back to my district and I hear my seniors tell me, Rashida, when are we going to get an increase in Social Security? And they turn around and turn that TV on and see that we send billions and billions of dollars to literally slaughter children, families, their fathers, their grandparents, their aunts. But wait, you know when my colleagues are outraged? They're outraged over the protest on college campuses in our country. They're more outraged than that, than the atrocities happening right now on the ground in Palestine, the war crimes. Y'all, there's no universities in Gaza. We all know this. We say it over and over again. And now, if they get their way, they're going to silence the universities here at home. It is appalling to witness the crackdown and violent repression of First Amendment protected speech and assembly on college campuses around the country. I just left Wayne State University's student encampment. My alma mater. That's the school that I graduated from. You know, students are putting their bodies on the line to demand an end to this genocide, to demand that their universities divest. And it did not start today. They've been talking about divestment for years. They're demanding their university divest from the same weapons and manufacturers that are sending the bombs to murder innocent children in Gaza and their families, to bomb literally hospital after hospital, targeting and killing journalists. But I want you all to think for a minute. Why are our universities invested in weapons in war in the first place? Why are these universities sending militarized police after their students to protect those investments in war? They are literally spraying them with chemicals for saying, save lives. It is disgraceful that the Biden administration and my colleagues in Congress continue to smear them for protesting to save lives, no matter faith or ethnicity. It is cowardly. But we're not going to forget in November, are we? I want you all to know, and I've said this before, it is hard being there. You know, it's hard being in Congress when you see them using racist tropes to describe those that are saying Palestinians deserve to live. Hateful, racist tropes about why we're standing up and saying enough. But I proudly hang the Palestinian flag in front of my congressional office. I don't need to tell you that you're on the right side. I don't need to. But I'll be damned if I wait 10 years before they apologize to all of you for doing what was right at this moment. You know, mashallah, I am the eldest of 14 children. Say mashallah. And I can tell you, from when I was 12 years old, transiting from my mom, and when people said stupid things to her and I would go off on them, she'd say to me, Yamma lesh? Lesh انت الوحيدة بتسوي لي مشاكل. She'll say, Mom, why, dear? Why are you, out of all the kids, cause me trouble? Because you had to meet my grandparents. You had to. There's nothing like a Palestinian city. Nothing. When media would come up to my city mufti and Beit al-Foka, they would come to her and try to get you these questions. I mean, the woman could do her own media training because she was just a simple woman.
Coke is just soda, Tylenol just acetaminophen, and Levi's are just jeans. Yet consumers go out of their way